Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome once again to the 7th edition of our Symposium of Internationalization. My name is Viviane Martins Mäder, and I'll be your host for the next hour. To join me, I'd like to introduce you to our next speakers. They'll be representing part of our team of agents of internationalization. They are faculty members, but also Legion officers for internationalization for their respective schools. So with no further ado, let me invite Professors Carlos Fontanini, representing our business school, Professor Cynthia Portin from the School of Health and Science, and Professor Luciana Drino, representing our law school. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining me for this next session. It's a pleasure to have you guys as part of our team of international team at PUCPR. The idea for the next hour is to discuss our role as international Legion officers in which we represent our school and university as a whole. So just for starter, I'm going to ask Professor Fontanini to properly introduce yourself, Professor.
Okay. Thank you, Viviane. My name is Carlos Augusto Candeo Fontanini. I'm a professor at PUCPR in business school, and I'm the international agent at the business school. I'm a professor, my area production and the logistics. And beside it, I'm a coordinator to Accreditation Center at the business school, because we are almost finishing our AACSB accreditation, and it has been very interesting for us, for our university, for PUCPR. And beside it, I have others functions inside of the PUCPR, but the most important to me is this internationalization. It's very important to me, to us at PUCPR.
Sorry. Oh, we get back to the specific projects for the current projects. Okay. So thank you for that. And next, Professor Professor Cynthia Portin.
Oh, hello. My name is Cynthia Portin, as Viviane said, and thank you so much for this invitation. It's a pleasure to be here talking about internationalization. I'm a pharmacist, and I work with pharmacology. This is my area, and I act at the School of Life Science, huge school in the PUCPR. We count with 12 undergraduate programs plus 3 graduate programs. We have great diversity in our school. We work with health area programs like nursing, dentistry, until to the veterinarian and agronomy. Then you have diversity is our word. Thank you again to be here.
That's awesome. Thank you, Professor. And last but not least, Professor Luciana Drino, representing our School of Law. Professor Lu, would you like to talk a little bit about your school, your role as an agent of internationalization?
Yeah. Again, thank you for the invitation for this important event of our university, and it's my pleasure to share with you some experience, some information about the internalization of my school and how we do this, and especially in law, because I represent the School of Law, the internalization of School of Law, and I'm a lawyer and I'm a mediator too. And we always had the prejudice that law, you cannot internationalize, but we could overcome that. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about this experience and the challenging of doing that in the law school. Thank you again for the invitation.
Thank you guys once again. Well, the idea for the next hour is really to discuss this amazing role. It's very passionate but yet challenging. So my next question is just to get started, right, to kick off our conversation next session. So for starters, let me ask each one of you, what does it mean to take up on the role as an agent of internationalization? What are the ups and downs of this yet growing and challenging role? Let's start with Professor Fontanini. Would you like to start?
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to give some information about business school. We have a undergrad, marketing, management, economics program, and accountancy. And beside it, we have offered master degree in business, master degree in cooperativism, and PhD in management too. We have got another area inside business school, executive education. It's another area because we have got many consultants inside the business school, professors of course, like me, and this area, the relationship with the market, education, executive education. Well, about your question, Viviane, it's very important because I remember PUCPR developed the strategic plan in 2010, and for the continuous internationalization about the curriculum activities, all in all, culturally inside the internationalization. And I remember at that time, I was the dean in business school. The same year, 2010, at the end of 2010, if I'm not mistaken, we launched the English semester, and currently the name is Global Classes. And I remember at that time it was a big challenge to us because we hadn't infrastructure inside the PUCPR to implement this project, but not in fact academic secretary to support kind of this project. And the first action at that time, the English semester, we brought 10, 12 students from abroad to study with us, and 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know exactly, courses in English, entirely taught in English, and like this, begin the internationalization at the business school. The same period with Ferrara University in Italy, we developed the dual degree in business, and it was another very, very difficult process because Professor Fontanini is very, very crazy. He's crazy guy. What about why internationalization or dual degree inside the business school? And but we at that time we were very, very aligned with the strategic plan, the PUCPR, and since then we have worked a lot in this area, internationalization, and 2 years ago we launched in business school the International Management Program. After 3 years, my student, of course, after 3 years in PUCPR in business school, the last year or the 4th year, I needed to send my student abroad to study one more year there. And we have got 20 agreements about the dual degree, and one of them triple degree. And it has been a wonderful experience to us, professor coordinators, and especially our students, because a great opportunity to live in another country, another culture, another language, another, how can I say, network, another methodologies in another university. And it's very, very interesting project with us, and I should have sent around 20 students this semester, this term, to abroad, but because of the pandemic, it's not possible. It's not possible. But I hope next year to send around 20 this year, more 15, 16, 17 students abroad. And in business school, we changed a lot the environment in business school because of it. Because students from France, Italy, US, Canada, Mexico, South Korea, Spain, Portugal, I don't know, Netherlands, and sometimes in the hall, the university, I can hear Spanish, English, Italian, Poland, Polish, and it shows us the internationalization inside the university. Half the courses at the international management program in the undergraduate course, half in English language, and another in Portuguese language. And to my students from Brazil, it's a great opportunity too, of course, to relate to many students from abroad. We have many professors teaching in English language, and it's too very important to us. But until 5-6 years ago, it's a total different, because we needed infrastructure to give support to us. And I remember, for example, your area, Viviane, it's very important support to us. The agreement, the many meetings, destination, and but 10 years ago it was totally different. And for example, about the academic secretary, it's very complicated because firstly in English, to do the equivalent, the curriculum grid, it was very complicated, because inside the academic secretary, but it has changed a lot. And how could say, nowadays I'm very comfortable inside the university, because we have got many areas to give us support, like you area, Professor Mäder, the director of this area, and the academic area, staff inside the business school. And but in my opinion, everybody learned a lot with this process, and from now it is very calm. We, in our strategic plan, I would like to expand more partnerships, university in many countries, of course, and to send my student abroad, to receive many students from abroad. And but about the difficult facilities, difficult the academic process, but it is how can I say, it's read at PUC. It is we got the university to prepare this area to receive, to operate in the internationalization area, and the facilities. I hope to improve the number, the courses, partnership, students, professors, and it's my opinion about. Thank you very
This is awesome, Professor. Thank you. That was a great introduction. Thank you so much. Professor Cynthia, would you like me to repeat my question?
No, it's not necessary. Thank you, Viviane. Then the challenge to work as an international agent in a school like School of Life Sciences is great. I have acted as an international agent since 2015, and I can say that the great challenge and the difficulties and facilities for my work is almost the same, the diversity. At the same way, when you have different programs and so different needs, I can use this in favor of an internationalization. Sometimes we have a partner that doesn't count with a specific area, but is we can think in some area that we have in our school that we can develop some projects. We have many differences, as I said, we have different needs. Then we count with 2 programs with a double degree. We have a pharmacy with Ferrara and agronomy with the user to call Phasia. Now we use France Agritoire. And we count with a project partner and research. Recently, we have a lot of collaboration involving some conferences, changing some conferences and information in remote way. Is the new times asking for this. And I can say that the work as an international agents is very important. This capillarization of the internationalization is fundamental to the university. Our university is, we can say that is huge. We count about 25,000 students. Then is if you don't have this capillarization, I can say that would be very difficult to improve some real actions, internalization actions involving all these programs and students.
Yeah, it's true. Some of the challenges are put, but you guys are doing the best you can and move forward. Yes. Thank you, Professor Cynthia.
Thank you.
Professor Lu. Professor Lu, what are the ups and downs I think you already mentioned one of them as internationalization of the law, but you guys have proven different, right? That it's possible.
Yeah, it's interesting, this panel, because we have different realities. While we have a huge school, which is the life sciences, and a very internationalized school, which is the business school, the law school, we have just law. So the challenges are different, because I think it's an advantage, but also it's a risk to have just one school, in one faculty inside the school, which is just law. But we speak the same language, which is good, but we don't have so many opportunities. So we do really understand that business school is the way it's more often you can internationalize, especially in university as a whole. And life sciences, it's normally internationalized, but law, I would say it's something new for law careers. It's something new. We are starting to understand that globalization has arrived at the law careers. So it's very important to understand that we are in a world that we have to deal, we have to work, we have to have solutions for the whole community, the community as a whole, and you have to understand from all perspectives. So law careers, they are starting to understand that it's important, but how to start? How to start? And this is the challenge. How to start? What are the courses? What are the matters that counts in this globalization? So we try to understand what would be the contact between all the fields and what would be the most important to internationalize right now. And we have found some important areas, which are international law, which are economic law, dispute resolutions that are very important also, and human rights, and environment law. They are very important to make this contact all over the world, because although law is a local phenomenon, but also it's a globalized. We have a globalized impact. So we try to do this translation, and we have found those areas, and we started by that. Doing what? First of all, trying to make more sensitive for our students and our professors. We started with the English semester, as Professor Fontanini said. So we started with English semester, and then we started to send them abroad in our exchanges and also short courses. And now we could customize some programs inside. So we try to democratize this whole I would say scenario. So first of all, we said, you can have classes in English. The program was at the beginning just English, and now we all know that we are talking about global classes, which are we can use in other languages. So we started to say, okay, now you can have law courses in other language. Then you can go abroad, but also the internationalization can come to you. So now I think it's another phase of our program of internalization, and we are bringing the internationalization inside. And people are starting to produce internationalization by themselves. And I think it's very, very important, because they are thinking, okay, I can do it. Because I think in the beginning, we were the missionaries. And now everybody feels that, okay, I can do it. So I can give classes, I can produce programs, I can go for it. So I think it's another phase, and we are facing it, and I think it's another challenge, but I think it's very very rich and interesting at this moment. This is for the
That's awesome. So from what I understood, it's internationalization comes easier for some of the areas, but it's possible to internationalize any course, any program. I have a question already from Professor Marcelo Tavramira. Being international agents in such different schools with such distinct internationalization challenges, do you think that you can learn from each other? In short sentences, in a sum up way, Professor Cynthia, would you like to say anything?
Of course, I can say that, of course, you can learn with with our colleagues. And we have different experiences and sometimes complementary. then I think that this kind of interaction is very important to our development as international agents. And sometimes you can think in some projects with in collaboration. That is the best word.
True. Professor Fontanini?
10 years ago, we began to discuss about the, for example, we could have putting inside each school a person to deal with internationalization. And 10 years ago. And why? Because in the strategic plan PUCPR, there were many actions, and this kind of support, not only about infrastructure or about the academic secretary or the rector, for example, but inside the business, the schools, it was necessary to have a professor, to, how can I say, to put it to work. And from this period or this situation, and it improved a lot the situation inside of the business school, because it was really necessary. And in my case, I'm the second or third international agent inside of the business school. But I have learned a lot with my colleagues, because it's a kind of exchange, internal exchange among the schools, and like a support, and it is very important for me, important to my school, important to PUCPR in general.
Yeah, thank you. Professor Lu?
Just possible, but it's necessary that we collaborate to each other, because we can understand and we can comprehend better this phenomena, because our boss, he doesn't like that I say that. He used to say that we learn about internationalization doing internationalization, because we really don't know, there's no formula. So it's important that we experience that in different ways, in different perspectives, in order to make it better and better and make it grow. And for example, we business school, we law school with business school, I think we have a lot of matches, and they are very natural matches between law and business school. And also life science is it's not so natural, but we can find points of contact. So I think collaboration in this field of internalization is one of the values. It's one of the most important values that we can share and improve, because collaboration has to do with internalization. So we have to make this example inside, in order to say, okay, let's collaborate, let's make partnerships. Okay, we can make partnerships, we can collaborate, since we do really understand the meaning of collaboration, and we have to do this in our home. So PUCPR, that's it.
Thank you. I have I have a specific question, Professor Lu, for the law in terms of law students. We need this is from Lydia Kowalski. We need to work to change the law students' concept. Exchange program is possible during the undergraduate level to enrich the curriculum. Is it possible to do you still need to work on the students' mindset for them to understand it's possible to, I think you already mentioned it something, right? You already mentioned it. Now they're realizing that it's important to the understanding that it's possible to internationalize the careers of a lawyer, for example. There's different.
I think this generation, those new generations, they are totally aware that it's important to open their views. Okay, they are aware of that, but they do not have maturity, or they do not have a direction. So that's the problem. They know that they have to go, they know that they have to understand the world, but they do not have maturity. But the mid-careers, the professionals, law professionals in mid-career, they didn't realize, but they are still working on it, and they are looking for it. I understand that a bit less, but I think they are in some way they are understanding really that they have to globalize their careers. I used to say something. I've made my doctorate in Italy, and since I went to Italy, I thought, oh gosh, the world is not so big. I can touch the whole world. No. So I would say that you can realize that the world, you can go for it. You can go and understand different cultures, being what you are. So this awareness, I think it's important to break some rules, to break some barriers, because you have to understand that although the world is small and big, but I would say you have to understand it. And one important thing is you cannot think that it's impossible to make law in a globalized environment. You can do it. Since I've never done this differentiation in my mind, I never thought that, okay, because I'm in Italy, it's totally different from Brazil. I never thought that there was a barrier. So this is the way I try to show them that they have to improve their mindset. You know, there are no boundaries, there are no barriers, because you know, the world is for you, and the law is a globalized phenomenon. So no, I think they are really being aware of this, and the new generation needs just maturity. And what we are doing for them, especially in PUCPR, is guiding them. I think the issue is how to guide them, because they understood already, but they have to be guided. And I think it's our mission.
Thank you. Now going back a little bit, Professor Fontanini mentioned the double degree programs, and today we understand from a PUCPR perspective, we know that most of the schools, or all of the schools, they're learning they're learning to see how great it is for the students, the double degree programs. But can you guys tell me? I know for a fact that the School of Business is the one of the most internationalized in terms of numbers of double degrees. And Professor Fontanini, would you like to say what was the main issues that you guys had to face to sign the very first? I think you guys were the first ones to sign a double degree agreement, correct?
Very important question. And for example, today I was talking about my colleague from Poland, and we are discussing about it. And there are many points about it. For example, firstly, how can I say? the best way would be to go to the another country to explain, to show the university, to show PUCPR, to show Brazil, show Curitiba, because after it, the process, it will be more facilitated. And because sometimes my colleagues abroad, could you tell us a little bit more about your country, about your university, about your city, because your city is safe, is green, about the inhabitants, about the culture. Okay. In my city, it's very common: Poland, Italian, German. It's very miscellaneous for cultures, and but about the difficult to show it to our partner or the new partner, and after it, it's very, very simple to do to sign an agreement. Of course, there are many steps until the sign the agreements. For example, equivalent. You needed to study the curriculum grid. We needed to do the equivalents. We needed to understand about the credit or ECTS and the how can I say, to do a range to apply here and the range to apply there about ECTS or credits or our classes, all in all. But after 3 or 4 dual degrees signed it, and of course with your support, Viviane, international director, give us many support. It has changed a lot because we have many partners in the world. For example, for the interchange or dual degree or triple degree, and others, for example, South Korea, Taiwan, Japan, China. We started to talk about the dual degree 6 months, for example, and because of the pandemic, it is very slowly because of this problem. But I would say we have improved a lot because of the internationalization. A business school is very internationalized business school, and we have contributed a lot with the internationalization of PUCPR. But it's not a new process for us, but it university, it agreement, or it partnership is another kind of to treat it, another kind of to conduce this agreement or this process.
Thank you, Professor. Now a question for Professor Cynthia. In a multiple program school, do you perceive different levels of resistance against internationalization across different careers?
No, it's not a perception of mine that you have some kind of resistance. We can notice sometimes that you have a kind of a natural ability to this in some careers, of course. And we have this. This is, for example, and we have some programs that is very natural even from students. The students are very the student have his mind open, very open to this practice. In other careers, not so easy. but not exactly a resistance. Okay, but it's interesting the what Professor Fontanini talked about the double degree. Sometimes the students come in and ask, or even the professors, "Oh, we need a double degree," but this double degree is the end of a partnership. It's not the beginning. I think I have this in my mind. We need to start with is a process. Okay, we need to start with a kind of collaborations, different collaborations. I use it to say that we need to start with collaborations in short time. For example, some conferences, collaboration in research, some even an exchange program with a semester, for example, global classes. Okay, this is the beginning. And for a long term, we have a double degree, at least 1 year of work, hard work to reach this. But returning to your question, I don't see this kind of resistance. Okay, but as Professor Luciana talked a little about the law, internationalization, sometimes we have some regulations in some careers. For example, in health area, we have a lot of rules, even this like in law. And this could be a little more difficult to this internalization, but not at least a problem.
I see. Now that you've realized you guys have come so far as agent for internationalization, facing the challenges, seeing the success of some of the ideas, initiatives of the school, now that you guys are more and more empowered to play that role, what are the perspectives for the future in general? Now that we have a few minutes left, so let's talk about a little bit in general.
Okay.
Perspectives in terms of projects for each school. You can go ahead, Professor Cynthia.
Okay, and I'm very optimist. I don't know if I'm a kind of crazy at this time, but I'm optimist because at this time in pandemic, when we have started this problem, I thought, oh my, what will happen with the internationalization, because we don't have mobility. You are prohibited to be moved. Is a worry, but was very interesting. We have an interesting phenomenon because a lot of partners asked one for each other and claiming for a kind of collaboration, a remote collaboration. And we have a lot of projects in course. And this, I'm sure that when we will be, again, we will have our mobility again, I'm sure that we can develop a lot of good things in the future.
Professor, what are the perspectives in the projects for the law school at the moment? What are the perspectives for the future?
Okay. Like Professor Cynthia, I'm not just optimistic, but I'm enthusiastic of the internalization. I think this time of pandemic and after pandemic, we have learned a lot, and we are going to learn more. And I can see the flourishing of the internalization because, again, the world is small. So tomorrow we're going to be with Professor Mäder from Portugal and the other professor from United States. We are in Brazil, and we could talk to someone in Kuala Lumpur, and we could talk to someone I don't know where. So I think this is really, really amazing for the globalization and internalization. And I think although we are now restricted, and it will we will overcome this next year. For God's grace, we're gonna overcome this. The fruits of a pandemic will be very sweet, I think, because we have learned how to communicate by those videos that were not so friendly, and now they are becoming friendly. And think about it, because we are going to make mobility, but also to communicate through those videos. So I think it's the best of the two worlds, and I think there's a great future for internalization. For example, just very quick, we do have a program that we customize in our school, which is called Law International Program. This program has started in classes, face-to-face classes, and now it's absolutely online, and we are not getting back. We are just maintaining Law International Program online. So the possibilities of having professors, invited professors, and having international students, I can absolutely foresee a wonderful future for this program during and after this pandemic. Now I think it's a little bit difficult because people are really economically not so wealthy, but when things get better, I think we can have a wonderful future in this program and other ones, because I can see that we can do collaboration through universities, lives, and classes, and I think it will be absolutely great. And I think we have to explore this field, explore those technologies. One last example, I do mediation. Mediation, we always thought, how can we communicate in this more personal way by videos online? And now mediation online, it's absolutely a reality. Absolutely. All those mediations are being online, and people are expressing themselves. So I do believe in this. I think this is a wonderful way. Of course, we won't get away from, I would say, it will be also important to go to other countries, but it's not so necessary to go to other countries to internationalize. So I think this is amazing, and I can see a wonderful future for all of us.
Yeah, that's awesome, Professor. Thank you. Professor Fontanini, would you like to tell us in few words the accreditation project? Because I know that's such a big deal for the school.
Okay. And compliment my colleagues. I'm very optimistic, and I'm very motivated to next year, because this year, of course, we have learned a lot: internationalization, face-to-face education, or e-learning education. But this year is very complicated to us. About the accreditation, in fact, we are working to get the AACSB accreditation. It's from US, this accreditation. And in Brazil, in the world, there is the Triple Crown. The Triple Crown is AACSB, AMBA, and the EQUIS, EFMD, the most important accreditation in business in the world. And the first to us, of course, we are a member to EFMD or EQUIS, but we started this process, is AACSB process 6-7 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, because it's very hard process to us. In Brazil, only GV Rio and the GV São Paulo, INSPER in São Paulo, and another university in Rio Grande do Sul, in the south of Brazil, Unicinos, got this accreditation because of the process. And it's very slow because we needed to prepare the university, we needed to prepare the business school, professor, process, of course, programs, and there are many projects. And in my opinion, the part most important inside the AACSB process, assurance of learning. Assurance of learning, and you needed to show the AACSB what has changed inside the PUCPR, but mainly inside the business school, about process, evaluation, research, papers, produced books, everything about the academic life inside the university, inside the business school. But I hope to finish it next year, because this year is very complicated to receive the committee from US. But we hope to finish it next year, and to be the 5th university in Brazil with the AACSB accreditation. I hope.
That's awesome. Thank you. Now, well, we're almost towards the end of the session. Let me just mention before I forget. Towards the end of the session, we'll have a link for a certificate of participation in the comments. So if you guys are watching, you need us to submit a certificate, please. There's a link that you click, and there's you have to put up some information. Very quick, very easy. So, okay, don't forget. A last question that could be a general question. Do you guys find hard to convince faculty, colleagues, co-workers, and even academic administrators to embark on a process of internationalization? I think we have faced that in the past, but now the topic internationalization is more familiar, I would say. But please, would you guys like to share your thoughts, your final thoughts on the topic? Maybe Professor Lu can say something.
Well, I would say that you ask if it's more familiar for people right now, the internalization. Yes. Yes, I think I've been developing all those thoughts about familiarity with internalization, and I just have one doubt: if we are inside this process, if we think it's very familiar, or if we have to think, yes, we have to do more and spread more and more and more. I think it's a little bit of the two things, because we are inside the process, we think it's very familiar, but I think also we have to make efforts to make people understand that. For example, this week we are spreading the idea of professors launching courses in other language. So we are making efforts to make them launch courses in English, in Spanish, or in French, or something like that. I can see the enthusiasm in their eyes, because I'm not seeing them, but I can feel it. But I think also they think, okay, I think it's too far from me. I think it's too far from me. Maybe next semester it will be easier. But the result is in the beginning, we had just one professor that faced the challenge of the English semester, and now we have about 15 professors involved in internalization courses. So, yes, we went far. I think we have to, not just professors, but we can see the growth of exchanging of our students. And I think it's important also to make a kind of mentoring with, not just with students, but also with professors. I think they have to understand a little bit better how their career can move in this globalization process, because and I think, let me say something here. I think at PUCPR we're very, very internationalized, because people have this feeling, and people used to say, oh no, I think my colleagues, they used to say, I think PUCPR is very internationalized, but they don't realize yet what is it. They cannot catch it. Okay. So I think our challenge is to tell them, okay, it's possible. Take it. It's yours. They realize, but they realize it's a little bit far from their reality. So we have to say to them, yes, it's possible. Take it. It's yours. It's for you. I think a great step that we can do is to put in regular basis our campus of Firenze, which is Florence in English. Okay, so when Florence could be in regular basis, because it's the Florence campus is to have regular classes, I think people will say, yes, now, yeah, I can go to give classes in Florence. Yes, you can give classes in Florence. So maybe it will be a way to tell them, yes, it's for you too. Because what I see is that they think, okay, Luciana goes for this place, another place, or that other professor goes to other place, but they don't think it's for them. And this is the challenge. But the students know that it's totally for them.
It's awesome. Professor Cynthia, Professor Fontanini, do you guys find it harder to convince your colleagues as well, or it comes easy for them?
No, it's not so hard. It's like Luciana said. And I feel that some kinds, in especially with professors, that they are a little afraid to face this challenge. I think this seems to me. And the students, no, absolutely.
In my opinion, 10 years ago, it would be, but we have learned a lot together, all together, with partnership inside my colleagues in other schools, and but from now, in my opinion, it will be more how can I say, more calm to adjust a new process. And I told to you about my students. It's very common in the hall, in the aisle inside the university, many languages, because my students, professor, I would like to study in Italy, I would like to study my dual degree in German or US, and it's very, very wonderful, beautiful, because this show us we have improved a lot this process, internationalization, and the others. Is it?
It's awesome. Well, let me read some comments that our participants are leaving for us, okay? We have a comment from Claudia from Burgundy School of Business School. Interesting discussions. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for rooting for internationalization and keep up the good work. Thank you, Claudia. It was such a pleasure to watch you this afternoon. Another comment from Professor Carina Fernandez. Congratulations to have the international agent having this conversation and showing that higher institutions has so many small niches that can make the internationalization something possible in our university as a big community. This is awesome. Thank you, Professor. Comment from João Heitor Pereira. It was a great discussion. Congrats. This is good. This is good. And there's a last reminder. Tomorrow will be the last day of our spin. So make sure to join us. Same time as today, first session at 4 p.m. and the last session at 6 p.m. Okay? So
let me just make a comment about the comment of Professor Carina. Professor Carina, we have a lot to thank you because Professor Carina always helps us. Especially, I don't know the other schools, but our school, she helps us a lot. And especially because she has brought the EMI method. So the most important thing that I've learned in those trainings was, English, your English do not have, or your language, don't have to be perfect, but you have to communicate in another language because the objective is not to learn languages but communicate. And communication is more than speaking very, very correct. So I think it's very important to maintain those trainings. And again, I want to thank Carina for giving us those lessons and for being an enthusiastic of the internalization of our university.
Professor Luciana, you made a great point because this is the theme of our session today, right? The theme was actually looking inwards, aiming outwards, internal collaboration, boosting institutional internationalization. And that's what you said just translates that. Professor Carina is from the English professor from the School of Education Humanities. And they have this amazing program, and this is such a perfect way to show that internal collab makes sense and it's important for our growth as a whole university. This is amazing. Thank you so much, you guys. This was such a great hour and such a great honor. And I'm so proud of you guys. And actually, this is the words of the boss from our boss, Professor Marcelo. He left a comment. Great job, guys. Proud of you. So this is it. Any final words for anybody? From anybody? Professor Fontanini, would you like to say your final words?
Thank you very much. Congratulations. This event is very, very important to us and everybody, community, partnership. And thank you very much. Your invitation to be here and to explain a little bit about this internationalization, AACSB or accreditation, the university, to tell about the history. I'm okay, not very, very old, but I know about the history since 1996, the university. But thank you very much, Professor Marcelo Mira. Thank you for your invitation. I'm very, very glad with this participation.
Thank you, Professor. Professor Cynthia, would you like to add anything? Would you like to say your final words?
Okay, thank you for the invitation. It was an hour that was very pleasure, and I would like to say that I'm proud to be a part of this team. Thank you so much.
Professor Lu?
Yeah, I share the words of Cynthia. Yes, I'm really proud of being part of that team. And I want to again, and as everybody said, thanks for this invitation, and also, to share this dream with all of you. That we know that it's the dream of Marcelo and everybody that's in the director of internalization, the office of internalization, I would say, and to say that we are sharing this dream, and this dream is now come true, and we are facing all those challenges, even though it's very hard for all of us. So count on us.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you guys took the challenge to be here to join me, and I appreciate your time, and thank you so much, and congratulations. Thank you, guys. I'll see you. Bye.